Imagine taking a loan for a car and ending up paying almost double the original amount. How does that happen? Today we'll solve real IB Paper 2 financial math questions using technology. Keep an eye on the syllabus document. This is SL 1.7, amortization and annuity. And remember, it's using technology. So you can read the guidance, clarification, and syllabus links. If you are new to these words, annuity, amortizations, you might be thinking what these are actually. So annuity is a series of equal payments occurring at equal period or interval of time. So like you pay and your money grows. While the amortization is a method of paying debt, including the principal and interest, which is usually done in a series of equal payments occurring at equal intervals of time. All right, so let's begin. And this question is taken from May 2025, paper 2, time zone 1. And it's a 15-mark problem. It says give all answers in this question to the nearest dollar. Anika invested 10,000 Canadian dollars. So this is the principal value or the present value. So in an account which earns a nominal annual interest rate of 3.4%, this is your interest percentage. Compounded monthly. And part A, it says calculate the value of Anika's investment after 6 years. So it sounds like a compound interest question, right? So time period is 6 years. And if you are solving these with me, take out your GDCs if you're using this Casio version or any other version. I am using Casio right now. So go to menu and look for this TVM solver. So this is the financial math application time value money feature. Execute and you'll see these different options over there, but go to the compound interest option, which is F2. And I guarantee you, if you stay with me, we don't need a separate feature to calculate amortization or annuity problems. We will use the same compound interest F2 feature on a Casio GDC to solve everything else. Okay, quickly, if you're new to this, they might look scary, these shortcuts. What does N mean? I, PV, PMT. So I'm going to be explaining each of them. You can take notes. N is the time period. Like in this case, it's 6 years. But it depends, like sometimes it's a monthly situation. So you do 6 times 12. Okay. I percentage is the interest percentage. It's given over there, 3.4. PV is the present value or the principal value. PMT is the payment. Payment is sometime yearly, quarterly, half yearly, monthly. It depends on the question. FV is the future value. PY is the payment per year. Like it depends, like either the payments are yearly payments or half yearly payments or quarterly payments or monthly payments. Okay. So CY is the compounding per year, right? So just like in this case, it's monthly compounded. So I know it's too much to remember. For new students, I encourage you to rewind maybe and save each of them because they will be very useful. So let's collect data. In my class, I usually encourage my students to make a table, but I think table will be hard for me to make it again and again. So I'm just gonna uh, jot down my information which is given. So I'm given the present value, which is 10,000. Okay, and the interest percentage, I percentage, is a 3.4. It's compounded monthly, so the payment per year will be monthly as well, and the compounding per year will be monthly as well, right? Because it's compounded monthly. So they're asking for value of the Anika's investment after 6 years. So it's asking for a future value, which this is what we are looking for. And the N, the time period, is 6 times 12. Make sure this is a common error students make. So if it's a monthly situation, don't put years into N. Instead, you should write 6 times 12. So this is 72 payments, right? So you have this information now. Let's feed this into the GDC. So N is 72, interest is 3.4. Another important thing, like if you put your present value as a positive number, you will get your future value as a negative number. Now, you might be thinking, what is this weird thing? Can a value be negative or something? The negative sign here means that you have invested into the bank. So something just came out of your pocket into the bank, right? Just like Anika invested it. So put a minus 10,000 here, and PMT feature is just used for amortization and annuity. So don't use that. Future value, just keep it 0 and rest of the information is correct. Just execute FV. Remember, press F5 and you will see the future value. Let's just copy this down. Future value, right? And this is going to be my answer. Now, remember, the question says that give your answer correct to the nearest dollar. So your answer for part A will be 12259 CAD, right? Anika wants to purchase a house that cost 225,000 Canadian dollars. Anika uses the value obtained in part A to make an initial payment on the house and take out a loan to pay the rest. Part B, determine the amount of Anika's loan. It's just a 1-mark question. So she wants to purchase a house which costs this 225,000, and she pays the value that we obtained in part A to make the initial payment and takes out a loan to pay the rest. So they're saying determine the amount of Anika's loan. So you just subtract the amount, the initial value, and this remaining amount is going to be the amount of Anika's loan, right? Okay, so we need to just go to the normal calculator, 225 0 minus 12259. So I'm getting 212741. 212741 CAT. So it's not important to write the units, but I'm just writing it anyway. Anika amortizes her loan over 15 years. So now it's a 15-year period. She arranges to make a loan payment at the end of each month. So remember, it's at the end and it's a monthly payment. The nominal annual interest rate for the loan is 6.4% and compounded half yearly. Part C, determine Anika's monthly loan payment. Okay, so there are some important things you need to consider. Like you might be thinking, what is like end of each month, or what if it's in the start of each month? So remember, like this is a very crucial step. If it's in the start of the month, you can press shift and setup. And you will see that you can set the payment mode like end or beginning. So you can, I'm choosing end, like by default it's end, but sometime it's beginning, and that can make a bit difference in your actual answer. So watch out for this thing, right? So read it carefully. It's a 5-mark question. Okay, so N is 15. Since it's monthly payment, you can just put a 12, right? Times 12, and that's it. It makes 180 payments. 6.4 for the interest percentage. The present value is going to be the value which she's going to amortize, like 212741, right? I've put that. Payment, we need to find like what is the monthly loan payment. This is what we are looking for. Future value, we don't need to feed in, right? Okay. Payment per year is 12, but listen, this is important. Compounding per year is going to be half yearly, so you will put a 2 over here, right? So make sure you're solving it with me so you can have a better understanding what's going on, right? Okay, so loan, and since it's a payment which is going on, like let's go. And I believe the answer is going to be negative. Reason that it's going from Anika's pocket to the bank, right? So let's execute. And we need the payment. So press F4. And let's copy this down. So I will give my answer as a positive number, but I'm just showing you that why the calculator is giving a negative value, because it's being deducted from Anika. So my answer should be 1832 CAD, right? The reason that I remember that in the start of the question, it said that every answer should be given correct to the nearest dollar. After 2 complete years, Anika decides to increase her monthly payment to 2,200 Canadian dollars. At the time, the remaining amount of the loan is this. So we'll take that as a present value. Okay. So that's going to be 194,572. And the payment per month is going to be 2,200 Canadian dollars. Okay, so what are we looking for? Part D1. Calculate the amount by which the loan will decrease during the next 3 complete years. So N is 3 times 12, so 36 payments. And we are looking for the future value, right? Let's go to the GDC, and we already have some information that, like for this part, we need to change N, which is 36. And the present value is now going to be 194,572, right? Payment is now like how much payment she's giving. So you should put a negative 2,200 because this is what she's paying. And I need to check like, yeah, it's the continuation of the same thing. So it's the same loan. So it's compounded half yearly. So let's check the future value after 36 more payments, right? So let's press G solve, and this is giving me future value is going to be 1480. Okay, I can just copy this, right? Okay, so let's go. That is the future value. Don't worry, this is the payment that she has paid, so that's why the calculator is giving a negative answer for this. 9, right? So this is my future value after 3 years. So they're saying calculate the amount by which the loan will decrease. So you need to subtract the future value from the present value, 148099. So let's take out GDC and go to the normal part. It's going to be 194572 subtract 148099. So I'm getting 46473. 46473 CAD. Part D2. Determine the total interest that Anika will pay over this 3-year period. So we know that she has paid 36 payments of 2,200. And this will be 36 times 2,200, which is 79200. And the loan amount that decreased during this time period was 6473. So we need to subtract these numbers, and this will give you the total interest that she paid over this 3-year period. 32727. And that's it for this question. And in the end, I would like you to note this well. If you want to be good with financial math questions, you must be familiar with each of these terms. And I've given the list and their meanings. You must be familiar with the idea of annuity and amortization. And above all, practice, get fluent with the graphing display calculator, read the statements carefully, and keep following for more useful resources. Over and out.